Welcome back to Voice Advisor. This session is going to focus in on peer coaching. And as a reminder, what we're trying to do is identify effective practices that facilitate the practice and generalization of a learned social skill, hopefully learned in the Voice app, to the classroom setting. Now, peer coaching is pretty much what it is. Now, remember, we're going to offer an implementation guide along with this in a video illustration that I'll talk to in just a moment. But right now, what is peer coaching? Well, peer coaching itself is basically teaching peers to facilitate the prompting and encouraging of a targeted skill that we're asking a student to practice and generalize into a instructional classroom situation setting. It's that simple. But in doing so, there's a variety of different ways to do it. We can ask the student, the peer, to model. We can ask the peer to serve as a tutor. We can ask the peer to prompt. Or we can use a variety of peers all at once to facilitate the support for that learner that's trying to understand how to practice and generalize that learned social skill. Now, with this in mind, let's go through these a little bit more detail. So the peer model does what the wording says. They model the desired behavior in a very specific, explicit manner so that the individual that they're trying to help facilitate understands what's being modeled and then is able to break that down and apply it into the instructional situation and setting that they are working in. Or the individual serves as a tutor. In this instance, we teach the desired skill, we the educator, teach the desired skill in a very explicit manner to the peer that then can facilitate it and teach it to their fellow student. This is a little bit more complex, very much explicit, has an element of modeling as well, but it facilitates what the individual comes into that practice and generalization experience with, and that is that knowledge and understanding. Number 3, they prompt and reinforce in a way just in time. So as the individual is in the process of understanding that practice and generalization, their peer steps in and prompts and reinforces when necessary at the level that's needed, maybe due to the complexity of the instructional situation or the setting, whatever it may be. And the last approach is we potentially combined a number of peers to be able to facilitate one peer to be able to do a number of these different approaches. And the power there is of course, more hands on deck, so to speak, to be able to facilitate support and overall get to that practice and generalization. Now, why? Why is this effective? Well, I mean, a number of these things we would say are common sense. First of all, it maximizes that instructional experience because it's just not one instructor, it's a peer that's right there during the time and providing the support when necessary. There's a level of compassion going on here with the students engaging students. There's a potential, and hopefully, of developing a friendship. And that, of course, is one of the reasons we do social skill development. So, of course, we're getting a double outcome there, is not only practicing and generalizing, but also hopefully facilitating a friendship. And finally, a level of positive peer pressure, which goes a long way to be able to facilitate that practice and generalization. Now, the peer coach is just not anybody. The peer coach is one that is going to have attention to detail. It's one that's going to be overall compassion, kindness to others. They're interested in this. They have a level of patience because, of course, this might take a number of different trials. And overall, they enjoy helping others, and they want to participate. They're volunteering to participate. So, like any of these practices, there's a series of steps for implementation. In this one, there's just 6. And the 6 are fairly general. Number 1 is we're going to select the peer, and we're going to select the peer based on not only the model we're going to use, but also what the situation's calling for, the social skill, as well as the instructional setting and situation. Now, of course, we want to get approval by the guardian or the parent, so make sure we do that before we get into too deep. Number 3, we want to make sure that we understand which of the peer coaching techniques we want to facilitate, and again, that's going to be based on the skill as well as the situation and setting. Number 4, we're going to train the peer to make sure that they understand how to facilitate the role playing with a variety of different techniques. Number 5, we're going to monitor. We're going to make sure that the process is orientated and going as we directed. And overall, there's a positive and constructive feedback going on that we provide and that they're providing to their peer as well. And number 6, we're going to provide reinforcement or recognition to everyone involved to be able to further facilitate that practice and generalization of that learned social skill. Now remember, there's a step-by-step guide that accompanies this video, as well as a video illustration that tries to contextualize what this might look like in the instructional setting. Please visit the Voice Advisor for more details. And I hope this video overview was helpful, and come on back for more. Thank you.